Hey guys, back for, I don't know why I always clap every time I do that, but back with another week of toy pickups. Got a couple of things in that I was expecting to get in that was taking a little bit longer. Bit Bag Toy Store. And one thing got on surprise. I wasn't expected to ship this soon, but it did, so it was kind of a welcome surprise. And we'll get to that one first because I'm super excited about it. And that is going to be Marvel Legends Juggernaught. This was the made to order. No, it was no. Sorry, this was a deluxe. Sorry, my brain's on something else right now. The deluxe Juggernaught. This thing is massive, and I guess before we talk about it, let's go ahead and talk about the box. All right, here's the box. Got the grid inside. Got the artwork on the side. Got him in a wind pose on the back, and more artwork on the side. I don't know why I decided to do that because I felt like every reviewer does that, but I am not a reviewer. But I felt like I kind of had to do that, and that's the box. So we're done with the box. All right, back to Juggernaught. So this one's super cool. Like from the very first thing, I've never had the other Marvel Legends Juggernaught, and it was a reason why is because they were too short and small for me. I actually ended up getting the Marvel Select one because I felt like that was more the appropriate size for Juggernaught, and the weight and head. Like I said, I've never held one of those, but they didn't seem like they were pretty hefty. This one. One of the things I did like about the other Marvel Legends ones, they had more articulation than the Marvel Select one. So I was a little like, I want more shelf presence than I want articulations. He's not going to be doing much, but either standing there looking badass or trying to run, which the Marvel Select one cannot do. If you put him in it, he will fall over after you walk away. But this thing is great, man. He does come with alternate hands, right? And then his Gamerverse from Marvel vs. Capcom. The little thing, which this thing, I'm gonna move it over here real quick as we talk about the accessories real quick before we get back into Juggernaught. This thing is small. It only fits around his hand. And in the game, it's supposed to have been a whole wave that's in front of him as he's charging forward. It's kind of a cop-out. Maybe they didn't want to spend that amount of plastic, but I mean, am I really gonna do that? Until I get my Marvel vs. Capcom display up, I'm not really worried about it. But the hands are cool because you got little splayed open hands. Sorry, I should take this out of the box before. And then like a C-cup gripping hand, which is really cool. I want to give you the other hand here too, so you can see. That's really cool. It'll help out when I have him grabbing something on the shelf. Also, too, on the back, he's got like these little butterflies, so he can open up pretty wide and kind of do those poses. He does have some waist articulation. We can crunch about that forward. He can go back about that much. I mean, it's fairly articulate. One of the best parts about it is that he has that toe hinge. This is the reason why I couldn't get the Marvel Select to run in it, because he had to stand on his toe like that, and the weight would just make him fall forward. But now with the toe hinge, he can be a little bit more balanced when he's doing the run pose. I mean, he's kind of like R and standing. That looks a lot better, and it will pose better. There is some articulation in the head, so he can move that way, he can move that way. It does pop off, which is what I just did right now, which is going to bring us up to another thing. Will this, because I do have the Marvel Select right next to him, if you put them together, they're roughly about the same size, and I thought the Marvel Select was going to be bigger, but it's only slightly. I think in the feet, he's a little bit bigger. It says about you something about you downstairs, sir, if you don't have big feet. And I think the hands and the arms are about the same. Though I do like the wash. This one, I kind of like this darker one versus this kind of bright red one, and I know this is more towards the game. What I wanted to see, because he's not going to stand, so I was just going to hold him up in front of you, is because I know the head comes off the Marvel Select one. Maybe if I can get it off. There we go. Will it fit onto the new Marvel Legends one? Will it? Not really. It does look a little weird because it's not the same. But man, I really like. So we see the grit in that one, right? I really like that one. I wonder, AliExpress did some kind of third-party custom ones for the Marvel Select one. I wonder if they'll do one for this head sculpt where he's unmasked. It looks like he is kind of unmasked up under there when you look, but I don't want to pull it out and break something. So we're going to go ahead and pop that head back on. like I said, the down part about it is that I wish it had a wash. I'm gonna put the Marvel Select one over there. I really wish it had a wash to kind of make him a little bit darker. It's not my favorite for him to be this bright, but it is video game accurate and I guess more comic accurate, more towards the older comics and stuff like that. So that's gonna be Jugs right there. I'm gonna put him over to the side. We're gonna move on to the next one. Juggernaught on top of Juggernaught. It's gonna be the 2-pack of Wolverine, Gamerverse Wolverine, and the Samurai. So just like I did before, let's go ahead and toss that over there. Let's go ahead and show you the box, the grid, some stuff there, some stuff there, and then they're fighting on the back. All right, I'm gonna toss the box over there. I don't need the box. All right, so I got this 2-pack literally just for Samurai. I don't own a Silver Samurai. And I have to have all my Wolverine villains, and he was missing. I could have bought the old one because I kind of like the color and the textures with the rivets and stuff on the old one. But I might as well. It was going to cost me almost as much as this 2-pack, so I might as well have just gotten the 2-pack, and I'll have a 18th Wolverine, which will just sit into my little action figure bar, the home of misfit toys, when I don't have a place to put them. But this is really cool. I like that his little skirt and shoulder pads are pretty flexible, so it doesn't really mess with the articulation. He can kind of get into some poses. He's not pinless. I mean, the knees are pinless, which are not. I just not noticed that. I thought they were pinless. The knees aren't pinless. The arms aren't pinless. This is basically, they just added on some new rubber pieces and recolored them. It's the same thing. So like I said, I didn't have a Silver Samurai, so I'm fine with it. He does have some effect pieces. We'll pull out right now and not try to have everything fall over. One is the thing to go on the sword. Just look, I'm never going to use this. It comes with it. That's great. I'm going to find somebody else to use this. I'm never really ever going to use that. So I'm going to just toss that right there. The other thing he comes with is this huge throwing star that was from the game. That's cool, I guess. It's very Gamerverse stuff, so it doesn't fit into my comic book thing. So if I set that Gamerverse up shelf, then maybe we'll use that. But right now, we're not going to use that. We're going to move on to the other thing that's in the pack is Wolverine. This is a great, as far as like his stockiness and stature with the muscles and everything for Wolverine. He can go back about that because of the butterflies. But he got less butterfly in the front, so he can't even come in as far, which kind of sucks because the other Wolverines are much better. This is not and I know some people felt like this is a very, very cool Wolverine and could be like their definitive Wolverine. He's too tall. He's too tall. He's basically on 7-inch scale, and that's because he was a little bit bigger in the arcade game. I do love that head sculpt. I love that head sculpt, and I might see if this will take over for my Mafex one. And if you let me pause, I'll go grab the Mafex one. Hang on. And back. All right. So this is the Mafex one. This is the Marvel Legends one. I don't know which head sculpt I prefer. I don't think that they swap, but let's find out. So we're going to swap it. I'm going to take the Mafex one off. I'm going to take the Marvel Legends one and see if I can get it to go onto the Mafex. And this looks ridiculous. This looks ridiculous. It's way too big. Even if it was to fit onto the peg, it's not going to work. But it was a cool thought and idea for myself. We're going to pop that back on there, because I assume that the Mafex one won't fit on there, because if that's too big, that means that the peg thing is going to be too small. It's really cool. He got the little hair designs on his arms. I think a little bit more detailed than what's on the Mafex one, but this is still going to be my definitive Wolverine. He will sit in my comic book shelf, but when my Sentinel comes in, I'm probably going to have him be the Wolverine that's actually fighting the Sentinel, which is cool. But like I said, he's 7 inches tall. If I was to take even Silver Samurai, look at this. Dude, he's almost as tall as Silver Samurai. That's ridiculous for Wolverine. You can't do that. And if I was to put him next to Ryu, sorry, I had Ken standing with Ryu, so that's why it's in this weird pose. They're basically the same height. That shouldn't be a thing that happens as far as Wolverine goes. But it's cool. Like I said, he's going to go with the Misfit of Toys, and then when the Sentinel comes in, my X-Men 97 Sentinel, he'll go over there and he'll fight the Sentinel. Hopefully I'll have a new Colossus by then, because I got a Marvel Select Colossus that I love, but I kind of want to replace him because I want him to have a little bit more articulation, because he can't really get into many poses. All right, so that's him. And that is going to be my toys for the week. As far as my pickups, look, his shoulder pad fell off. Either way, oh, yeah, forgot to talk about his different accessories. He did come with some accessories, some stands for the Berserker Barrage effect, which is cool. Which is definitely going to be used in the Sentinel one, but not on the comic book shelf. So I'm definitely going to do that. And he had some extra hands for people asking me when I didn't show all the accessories. That is that. All right, toy news. So two things. Made to orders actually came out from Hasbro at New York City Comic Con. The first one we're going to talk about is the Apocalypse one. Well, first and foremost, it looks amazing. This thing is 12 inches tall. And it has like every effect. It has the shield, it has a blast effect, it has the little spike ball, I think it's a mace, something like that. And it has a drill, which is awesome. So everything in my Marvel Legends retro one, that they gave him plus a shield and a blast effect. So they give him all of that. The retro one, I think it was like 40 bucks, 35, 40 bucks, something like that. That was cool for that. This one, and I know the internet is going crazy, this one is $120. That one was like 8 inches, 7 to 8 inches. This one's going to be 12 inches tall. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it because you need multiple apocalypses, because you're going to start with one level and then he's going to grow in size. So I kind of need them both. Also, too, the thing looks awesome. And I know it's more of the X-Men 97 style. So, but it still fits in, and it's like he's got a painted face, so it's like that's just the way Apocalypse look. So, I'm going to get it. It doesn't come out till the end of next year anyway, so I'm not even going to be thinking about that 120 bucks when it comes out of my account. Other things for toy news, the other made to order was the what was I going to say? Was the other made to order thing? Oh, the Arctic Hiss Tank. The Arctic Assault Hiss Tank. I'm a G.I. Joe guy. I can't believe I forgot that. That's super cool. Except that I own a Hiss Tank, and I don't really have I have a Snow Serpent, and that is probably the only Snow character I'm ever going to get until they release Lady J and Flint and Roadblock. And I'm doing my Cobra Law thing. That might be the only time I'm actually going to have an Arctic display. Because I got to get the Royal Guards, because they also got revealed as well with Globulus and Pythona and Nemesis Enforcer. Not Nemesis anymore. Either way. That's cool. For everybody who didn't get a Hiss, who complained about the Hiss and that it was too much and they wanted less things on it to make it cheaper, it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're painting this thing white. They removed all of the accessories of it. They did put missiles on it, but like all the stuff we got with the original Hiss Tank, they got removed. It is going to come with a driver, and what I'm being told is that it is the the Hiss driver painted with a white helmet sitting on the Snow Serpent's body, which makes sense, but it screams Super Kit Bash, and I can't believe that they're actually doing that heavily of a kit bash. I wish they would give it a more uniqueness, but next to the Snow Serpent, it will fit in, even though it just looks like the Snow Serpent pulled his helmet off, and put on the Hiss driver's helmet. That's all they did. They haven't set price yet. The Hiss Tank was 300 bucks. You figure they gotta go cheaper. I would not be surprised if this thing is like 200, though. Their current price point for like smaller vehicles is $100 with drivers. So this one being probably twice the size of their smaller vehicles, 200 seems to make sense. I would hope that they do like 174 like they did with the Dragonfly. I think that's a good price point to put this at. But who knows? It's Hasbro and tariffs and all that stuff, so it may go up. But that's all I got this week. I will be back next week. I got some other stuff that's coming in, maybe, possibly, if it's coming in on time. We'll go ahead and talk about it then. Plus, New York Comic Con is still going on, so I'm sure there'll be more stuff to talk about as the weekend goes on to next week when I do this. All right. That's it, guys. You take care.